Hey, we're going to talk about today Mayor of Your Village Part 2. In Part 1, we talked about, hey, do you have a list of everybody you know? And are you really focused on people's pains and people's pleasures and helping people in your village with their pains and their pleasures? And you got to know what they are. Well, in Part 2, what we're going to talk about is after you've made a list of all the people you know, then we want to do what I call calendar them. And what I mean by that is we want to set up an automatic system where we talk to those people on a frequent basis. If you've got 100 people in your phone, then what I want you to do is take those 100 people and you say, you know what, I'm going to commit to calling 2 a day. So if you take those 100 people, divide by 2, that's 50 days. You've got weekends. So basically for 2 months, you can put on your calendar that I'm going to call this person and this person. And then tomorrow I'm calling 2 separate people and then 2 separate people. And just start off doing that. So you spread everybody you know over the last 2 months. And you just put them in a calendar sometime during the day that you're going to schedule to create a habit of calling those people. Those people are not only your family and friends, but they're people that maybe you want to do business with. They may be people you've already done business with. They may be people that you went to school with. The whole idea is we're going to keep this thing out there in the atmosphere that, hey, Steve cares about me and Steve wants to know how I'm doing. And so when you do that, you put those 2, come up with a time. For me, I put 7:30 on my calendar every day. I have those 2 names. And the reason why I do 7:30 is I try to start work at 8. And so that way I know that before 8 o'clock while I'm doing a walk or while I'm sitting in my office, that's what I've got to accomplish for the days out. Now, do I call up those 2 every day? No, sometimes I don't. But if I don't, I just move them to tomorrow. So tomorrow I've got 3 or 4 to call instead of 2. Sometimes your day gets away. But I'm pretty daggum committed to doing that. And so if I don't call them in the morning, then I know that before I kind of hang up for the end of the day and I'm done, I know that I've got to try to call those 2 people. Now, what do you call them about? Well, when you call them, all you're really calling them is to say, hey, man, I'm just checking in on you, see how you're doing. What's going on? How's Sally? How are the kids? How's work? Anything. It doesn't really matter. You just say, hey, I usually like to say, hey, I was just thinking about you, man. I was wondering how you're doing. And that's it. And then the conversation starts. Because if they're in your phone, they're what I call warm calls, right? These are people that you already know. You're not cold calling anyone. It's all warm calls. So try to figure that out. Now, here's the thing. Once you call that person that day, then you want to decide, when do I want to call them again? I want to talk to them next week, next month, next year. I've got people that I know that live in different states and I don't see them that much. Maybe I call them around Christmas or Thanksgiving, or maybe I call them around their birthdays or whatever. I may only talk to them once a year. But then I've got real estate agents that I'm doing a lot of business with, and I want to stay in touch with them. I call them every week or every 2 weeks. So you kind of want to just figure out when you want to talk to those people. Here's the coolest part of all this. It's free. You don't have to spend a dime, and you're talking to people that already know you and love you and care about you. And so when you talk to them, it's easy. Try that, make that a habit, put that in your day. Mayor of Your Village Part 2, just calendar them all out, put them all out so that you know you'll do it, because you think you will, but you won't. But if you put it on your calendar like a doctor's appointment, you'll do it. Hey, if you like this idea, I got a bunch of them. They're on YouTube. We got a bunch more coming. We're writing a book about it. But go to my YouTube, check me out on social media. You know somebody that's got a company where they need somebody to come in and help them with some marketing ideas, tell them about me. I'd love to come speak to them. So I hope you enjoy my videos.